We're going to leave that in. You are listening to the Chompcast, the official podcast of Sword Chomp. Remember, you can always go to swordchomp.com, where you can access the many places our podcast is available for download. But if you're listening to the show right now, that means you found us. So welcome to the madness that is the Chompcast. You can also find us on Patreon, patreon.com/swordchomp. If you'd like to donate and support us, we'll talk a bit more about that later. But we are back. That's right. Thanksgiving vacation is over for some of us, and we have returned. Bellies bloated from the great food, and they're bloated from some great video games as well. Our minds are bloated. That's right. The end of the year crunch is upon us, and we have about 1 month until Game of the Year. So we've been playing lots of fun games for the podcast. Tons of stuff to catch up on today. Celeste, The Messenger, Assassin's Creed Odyssey impressions. And the topic of the show is all about the controversial Fallout 76 and the Fallout franchise as a whole. Where should it go next? Where do you want to see it go next? And we will discuss that with help from the Sword Chomp Instagram community. And it wouldn't be a Chompcast without some polls. We ask our listeners about Fallout 76. Jude Law takes a swing at fish. Celeste was nominated for Game of the Year at the VGAs, but has anybody played it? Does anybody care? We have Patreon VIP shoutouts for those very special donators at the end, so you don't want to miss those because they're going to be filled with hilarity and nonsense. All that and more on this week's show. But let's get to some introductions. In case it's your first time listening to us or you're a repeat offender, I'm joined by my friends and cohorts. If I'm the jive-ass turkey, then they all complete me in some way. The jive, the ass, and the turkey. Let's start with the jive. From Japan, Shay Layton is here. The professor, as we call him, Professor Layton. Shay, found some news. I think this is right up your alley to kind of introduce you today. Did you know, Shay, that when dolphins become sexually frustrated, they actually go on killing rampages?
Yeah, I didn't know that specifically, but I'm not surprised. Dolphins are...
Isn't that crazy?
Kind of, yeah. Dolphins are fairly horny creatures, as I'm sure a lot of people know by now. Like, there are tons of videos online of them just doing some quite sexually nefarious type of things. So, yeah, I'm not too surprised by that.
I haven't seen those.
Oh, well, you have a new chapter to unlock in your life.
All right, the chapter of dolphin, horny dolphin exploits.
Yeah, no, actually, science this week has been crazy. There's been a ton of, like, science articles coming out this week. Like, China released that they did some designer baby stuff, and they've other scientists found a new type of supernova. So there's a ton of crazy science things happening this week.
Yeah, I miss my old Nova.
Yeah, me too. it was good. Nova? It was faithful. Yeah, I think that was the implication. I think so. You never know with Josh, but I'm thinking that was the implied joke. But yeah, that's crazy, Shay. I was thinking about that because we used to talk about nature a lot on the podcast. We don't really anymore because we just don't have time for that, sadly, with the bio breaks. But just the amount of things that
we really should make time for it with nature coming to an end and everything.
We should. I mean, it's been fun. We should give it its send-off before, we all plunge into despair and wasteland-esque type of setting, which we'll be talking about later today.
No!
Conveniently enough.
Good job.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to make the segue. You did it for me. But yeah, Shay's here, of course, from Japan. Thanks for being here, Shay. And of course, on the note of sexually frustrated, the turkey in this equation, Anthony Fisher is here from Texas. The Filipino Johnny Depp.
Gobble.
You gobble it right. Without hesitation, he hit that gobble. Proud of you.
Gobble.
I got good news for you, Fish. I was as people will know if they've been checking out our Instagram account today at Sword Chomp. Good news on the whole pigeon situation. I was looking into it. I guess there's no legal ramifications because of double jeopardy. Apparently, you were found not guilty a few years back of a similar situation regarding a pigeon, and we just recognize all pigeons as one pigeon in this country. So Looks like you're okay.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Nothing? You're not going to elaborate on this? Come on!
I don't know where to go with that. Yeah, I'm just glad I'm not in prison for fucking a pigeon, I guess. I mean, that'd be something hard to explain to the inmates.
What? I wonder what it's like, because in prison there's like different levels of crime, right? And if you do something real gross, they get real fuck with in there. But I imagine if you're a pigeon fucker, people might just stay away from you. You might just like,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, and they're not going to want to catch whatever you got from that pigeon.
You guys don't want to fuck with me. I got pigeonitis all over my ass and dick.
No. But pigeonitis, I don't like the sound of that though. We got to work on the name.
Yeah, got just a bad case of leaking squab.
Oh, I like that. Leaking squab. Good God. I'm horrified by how quickly you were able to think of that, Josh. Got leaking squab on the brain.
Mm.
Anyways, but yeah, legally fish, the double jeopardy thing. It looks like you're okay. So glad you're here.
Good deal.
Good deal. So, Johnny Depp is here to cause me lots of anguish and frustration, I'm sure, as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't podcast from a prison, so.
You can't. That would be a little difficult.
I really hope you can't tweet from them either.
It could get real bad if that was just. I will say this, Fish, because I'm trying to slide the polls because we have a big show today with a lot of other things to talk about. So for the sake of time, I'm sliding the polls into all the natural crevices of our podcast. How's that sound?
Natural? I like natural.
Or unnatural crevices. Whatever you can really get your hands on, right? So it looks like you beat Jude Law, and I threw up a softball for you on the Instagram polls. You beat Jude Law
thanks.
like 53%, I think, to something like that. You did win. I thought you were actually going to crush him, but Jude Law had a lot more support for best hair. If you don't follow it, Fish has been battling people for best hair every week.
I don't know. I think he'd beat you in best chest hair. But
I don't know. Would you?
I have none, so yes.
Jude Law seems like he might be hairless, though. I just
wasn't he in Cold Mountain? And wasn't there a sex scene? Pretty sure he had hair.
Let's go Google.
Can we get to video game talk?
I am fascinated to know what all you're gonna find by searching for that.
Yeah, we're gonna. Everybody who's listening, just stop listening right now and go Google Jude Law.
Google
shirtless.
tip here: if you're just trying to find out whether he has chest hair or not, just type shirtless. Because if you go straight to Jude Law chest hair, who knows what's going to be in that first page of results?
Yeah,
that's the fun of it, though. I love to see what happens on Google. But yeah, so good job, Fish, and they'll get a little more difficult as the weeks come up here. So. So we have the grand finale. Game of the year, best hair of the year. He moves on. That sweet Asian hair of yours. Wisping on the webcam. And lastly, but surely not least, I always say that, but let's just say, lastly, if Fish was the turkey and Shay was the jive, the ass of the situation has to be Josh. Joshua Fowler is here from Michigan. Generally, whenever I'm stuffing, I usually start with the ass first anyway. How about you, Josh? How was your turkey stuffing situation this Thanksgiving? I haven't got to talk to you much.
We actually went vegetarian this year for Thanksgiving. So.
Are you messing with me? Are you being real?
Yeah, I didn't cook a bird this year. I normally do. I normally don't go with turkey. Occasionally I'll go with turkey if we have a lot of people over. But usually I do game hens or something along the line of that. Quail or game hens, something like that. But yeah, we just did all the vegetables and stuff this year. So
really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Why? Was there a reason?
Just because we were just staying home this year. It's just the immediate family. And even if you get the smallest turkey you can, you have turkey for the next 3 weeks.
That's true.
So yeah, I decided against the bird this time.
All right. Well, I was trying to set up Josh for some great culinary story.
Yeah.
Shocking plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
No turkey this year. That's
I'm
okay.
sure
though.
those yams were off the chain.
Yeah.
Good yams. What's your go? My
You got
go-to
yams
side
for
is
days.
you guys. Are you yam? Do you guys? How do you guys feel about those like cranberries and shit like that? Are you guys a fan of that stuff?
It's
I like cranberries.
needed to cut
Can't
through all
stand
the rest
shit,
of the
though.
fat. Yeah. Yeah, you really need cranberry sauce with the meal if you've got a bunch of other fatty stuff. It's not as necessary if you're, doing lighter things, but especially with a nice fatty bird and, lots of
Gravy.
casseroles that have, who knows how many calories in there. It really helps to have some cranberry sauce.
Okay.
However,
Well, go ahead.
unpopular opinion here. Just get yourself a good can of the ocean spray stuff and take the top off and slice it. Save yourself a ton of time. You're going to get, about the same thing accomplished with a can opener that you would with cooking it for a whole day.
That's fair. I'm pretty sure that taking the top off of that isn't the only thing that fish likes taking the top off of during Thanksgiving, if you catch my drift.
Oh, come on. Now you're just teasing them.
Yeah.
Go straight to the
He
breast.
loves stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah, he like well, yeah. Taking the top off of those mushrooms, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Get some
Yeah.
Just bite them right
ricotta
off.
in
Dig in
there,
there, nice
some
and deep
garlic,
like.
a little bit of olive oil,
Yeah.
some garlic.
Takes to poke around in there.
Poking around. Speaking of poking around, I'm General Mountain Time here from Montana, aka Morgan. Doing that backwards. You're nasty.
AKA Little Poker.
They call me Little Poker. aka Little Poker. No, I don't like that. I can't stick. I don't want him to call me Little Poker.
Come on, Pokey.
Anyways,
That's weirdly enough what his wife said to him on his wedding night.
Little
Come on,
Pokey.
Pokey.
Little
Poke me
Pokey.
harder.
Woo, come on.
God, my
Up,
You
boy.
can do it.
Up, boy.
Here to go, boy. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun show today. Speaking of poking around, I've been catching up on a lot of stuff. If Red Dead is my main bitch, I got lots of side bitches, so to speak. And been catching up on a lot of stuff I'm excited to talk to you guys about.
You a player.
I'm a player. You know it. I've been playing it up lately. How exciting my life is.
Yeah, I did not
but
approve
yeah,
of that bit until you saved it, Fish. Thank you.
It's true. Fish save the bit. But yeah, so been catching up on a lot of stuff I'm excited to talk to you guys about. But first, the topic of the show is a pretty interesting one because with help from our Instagram community, we're basically thinking about where the Fallout franchise is going next. And I ran a poll, and it was something like 75%, as I'm looking here, of our voters. And every Tuesday, by the way, you're running polls at Chomp on Instagram, said that they thought that Fallout 76 was a dumpster fire, which seems a little harsh. Now, I don't think any of us have actually played it, but that's okay because our interest is more about discussing where the franchise, we'd like to see it go from here. You know, Fallout's in kind of an interesting limbo. They were trying something new with 76, and it's a huge franchise, but some would say it's probably gotten a little stagnant. And we want to know what you, the listener, and I want to know what my cohorts here would like to see from, let's say, Fallout 5 when it eventually does drop, or what they think the state of the franchise is. So, Shay, I'll throw it to you first because I know you're like our Fallout aficionado.